Empress Sisi girlies. Our queen was born on December 24th, 1837, so in her honor, let's talk her relationship with perfume. Empress Elizabeth of Austria, also known as Empress Sisi, was said to be the most beautiful woman in the world during her reign. Sisi, along with her cousin, King Ludwig II of Bavaria, that's the guy who built this castle. Cousins were both ethereal, fairy tale-like enigmas to the public, but their personal lives were tumultuous and tragic. Her whole life, she was basically told that her beauty was her most important attribute, which led to her unhealthy fixation on dieting. Some days, she would eat only egg whites and broth. For her beauty regimen, she would take olive oil baths to keep her skin supple and wear face masks of raw veal. One cream that she used, that seems pretty okay though, was one that was made for her by Guerlain called Crème à la fraise, consisting of crushed strawberries and honey. She had this stunning floor-length hair, which was washed every 3 weeks in a mixture of raw eggs and cognac, and it would take a full day to complete this. The ritual was done at this desk, and while she waited, she would study languages and write brooding poetry. Here's where the perfume comes into account. Sisi actually didn't really like perfume or makeup. She preferred to showcase her natural beauty. And we know this because her niece, Countess Maria Lariche, wrote a memoir about her time as lady-in-waiting to Sisi, and she wrote an entire chapter titled Her Hatred of Perfume. But that didn't stop glassmakers from making bottles with her likeness. She may not have liked perfume the way that we wear it, but she did like to spray her hair with floral essences such as orange blossom, rose, and violet. And there are 2 perfumes that it is also presumed that she sprayed her hair with. The first is Farina 1709 Eau de Cologne, which was also a favorite of Queen Victoria and Napoleon. Farina is one of the oldest cologne makers out there. They even have a whole museum that you can tour. In this very small print, you see that they count Sisi as a client in their historical records. So if she did buy this cologne for herself and not as a gift, then her hair is the most likely place where she wore it. Farina also lists her cousin Ludwig of Bavaria as one of its clients. The second perfume associated with Sisi is Imperial Violet by Parfumerie J.B. Phils. Sadly, it looks like they just closed shop this past March after 213 years in business. Like Farina, they had a fragrance museum, and on this tour, you could purchase this fragrance. Now, like I showed you before, there are primary sources saying that Sisi didn't like perfume in the traditional sense. It's likely this would have been either applied to her hair or she would have used the scent in a bath cream or mist. But we do know that she used these 2 brands because they both are listed in court records with the title KUK Court Purveyor, and in the German and Austrian states, this was the equivalent of a royal warrant like we see with the British royal family, and this is the mark. And according to the Sisi Museum, which is housed in the Hofburg in Sisi's imperial apartments, she had a soft spot for violet ice cream and candies. Violets were her favorite flower, so I do think that this info tracks, and both the cologne and the violet perfume would have been to her liking. One day I will go to the museum though so I can see for myself. And if we really want to go full circle on this, remember how I said that Sisi used Guerlain face cream? Well, Romy Schneider, who played Sisi in the 1950s trilogy about the Empress, was a Guerlain girl. Here she is at her dressing table in 1973, and look what we have here. This large one right beneath me with the pointed top, and then right here this other one with the pointed top as well. Guerlain used both of these bottle cuts for several fragrances, but it looks like L'air Bleu was her favorite one. Alright, well, happy birthday to the Empress. Maybe spray your hair with some violet perfume in her honor, and if you enjoyed this, find more of my perfume histories at the playlist below.